This is an Al Hodges Christmas intelligence message for December 25th, 2016. It's going to be a very important message. Received by email at 2:41 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at Dinar Chronicles. Hodges and Associates. It is the time of year, end holiday celebration. As has become my custom, I wish each and every one of you happy holidays and a very, very happy new year. I know many care about. I know many care only about when, etc. But first, let me say a few other things. Number one, as I have said before, the Supreme Court justices are fully aware that the world's global settlements (WGS) and the global currency reset (GCR) and all associated reliant programs are in the final completion process. Therefore, there being no need for the court to grant certiorari as a means of keeping the pressure on the politicians who had been so aggressive in delaying this. Number two, I now understand and emphasize with your angst, frustration, and anger engendered by the outrageous delays which have occurred. I feel the same. However, it is a fact that CMKX is a relatively small part, minute in fact, in parentheses, of the payout scheme. The overall WGS and GCR, with particular focus on the GCR, have been the primary cause of these delays, and not because of incompetence or similar reasons, but because of the vicious tornadoes generated by the cabal, which have previously been referred to as headwinds. These people represent the vilest, most intransigent, most contemptible, well-financed forces of evil on the planet, although we have in fact won. Securing the peace has become a near impossible task. Number three, to put it another way, the world global settlements, including the United States dollar refunding project, the global currency reset, and all the associated reliant programs are real. They are the instruments of great change, part of the worldwide redistribution of wealth, which includes revaluation of up and down of a number of countries' currency, and every country worldwide will abandon fiat currency, which many have already done, and have asserted and have asset-backed currency pursuant to the 2012 Gold Treaty signed by some 209 countries. The protocol governing implementation of these various programs have changed quite substantially and continuously. It seems as a result of the cabal's interference, as has been evidenced by the wholesale departure of many leaders and executives, in parentheses, John Stump most recently, and the arrest of thousands of bankers and others for abetting financial fraud. The estimates of those who will be prosecuted after the completion of these activities is greatly in excess of 10,000. As I have said in the past, most of those I have denominated as miscreants have, during these delays, been duly relieved of the money that they stole, which has been recovered by the NBTB, New Powers that Be. Many others have been indicted and will face public trial at The Hague, uh, Nuremberg, in parentheses, beginning after January 20th, 2017. Number 4, the CMKX payments have always been dependent on the completion of the WGS-GCR. That is because it was long ago determined that the only correct way to compensate CMKX shareholders required ensuring that they received their payment in asset-backed currency, extant with a fair and transparent banking system. Trust provisions prevent any earlier release, although any and every delay of a compensating payment to CMKX shareholders seems patently unfair, and simply and the simple fact is that we cannot receive our payouts until the financial imbalance in the world has been corrected. This has obviously taken much longer than anyone ever contemplated. Number 5, why has it taken so long, you ask? The answer is both simple and extremely complex. Simply stated, it has taken time to create a new financial system for the world that 209 countries could and would accept, and it has taken time to ensure that the new system would not be co-opted by the evil forces that have controlled this planet and the very lives of most for for thousands of years. As a result of these issues, I can tell you that the protocols for the consummation of events have been changed repeatedly, 100 times. I can tell you, based on personal knowledge, that the receipt of ER deliveries have been scheduled at least 15 times in recent months, only to be delayed by some new action from the miscreants. I can further advise that the Benjamin Fulford and others have reported the cabal miscreants are now all but disappeared, and when is not an easy thing to define. This for several reasons, which I am not allowed to discuss as I am in constraint by attorney-client privilege and security considerations. What I can say is I am advised that the next step should have become publicly known by the time you read this, as the intent for some time has been to have that step complete before Christmas. Number 2, gold is based upon my information present in the U.S. Treasury to back the U.S. dollar. U.S. currency will not become officially asset-backed until the receipt of the ER deliveries have been made and a minimum of 24 hours has elapsed, pursuant to the written terms of the Gold Treaty. Number 3, the receipt of the ER deliveries actually determined the worldwide effectiveness of the treaty. Number 4, I have been told that the initial payment of the CMKX shareholders will be forthcoming within a few days to several weeks, immediately after those receipts of the ER deliveries. The announcement is, the in fact in process and actually quite close to finality. Accordingly, please do not spend the next days fretting and worried about the apparent lack of concern the world and its minions have for your plight and your uh, penury. You have, in fact, won. The proof of same shall be yours sooner than you believe. Have a wonderful experience with your family, friends, and associates, and enjoy every moment of this precious time. Happy holidays to each of you. Blessings. Signed Al Hodges, Citizens for Hodges CBN. He's got number, all the identity, everything you want to reach Al Hodges. You can just click below and copy it. So anyway, thank you all very much and stay safe, everyone. This is going to be an exciting holiday season for all of us. God bless each one of you. Stay safe.